Well, guys, I want to share with you something very special that arrived. My Silver Creator Award for surpassing 100,000 subscribers. I just cannot thank you enough for this. This is just, I'm just so grateful for this and flattered, and this means a lot to me. It says presented to Kim Iverson for passing 100,000 subscribers. It's got a mirror there, so I can look at myself in the mirror while while I look at this award. YouTube sent this to me along with a really great letter. Let me read this letter to you. I'll try to read it without choking up, but every time I read it, I get a little teary. You've just done something that very few YouTube creators accomplish. You had an astonishing 100,000 people subscribe to your channel. We know that numbers on YouTube can get really big, but we hope that you don't lose sight of the reality behind that 6-digit milestone. Each and every person who has subscribed to your channel has been touched by what you created. They were inspired, challenged, or entertained. You achieved this milestone with hard work, perseverance, and probably a healthy sense of humor too. What you've accomplished can't be taken away from you, and we'd like to recognize you and all your hard work with the Silver Creator Award, a small token of our esteem and respect. We know that you don't do this for the rewards. You do it because you have a drive to create and share, and because you found an audience who cares. Believe us when we say that we can't wait to see what you do next. 1 million subscribers may seem a long way off right now, but you're closer than you think, and we're rooting for you. Congratulations. I told you, I get teary every time I read that letter because it means so much to me. This was not easy. I know it seemed for many of you like this was a fast and easy climb. This channel launched January 11th, and it's been less than a year, and I was able to, the channel has grown immensely and very, very fast. And I know that looks like, just easy, but I got to share with you, I want to share with you the challenge that it's actually been, because it wasn't an easy overnight thing. I've had to sacrifice a lot personally, and in order to make this happen. I was a radio talk show ho on the radio talk show ho. Yeah, that's probably pretty accurate. I was a radio talk show host from on the FM dial for corporate media, which made me a radio talk show ho. So I was, doing the corporate media radio thing, broadcast across the country, and I ultimately decided to leave. I wasn't happy with it. I wanted to experiment and explore and do something new. I just wasn't really quite sure what. I knew I wanted to try going digital and building an audience on my own and being more independent, where I had more control over everything. I was unfortunately kind of suffering from being under the control of ultimately powerful men. And I was getting a bum deal all the time because of it. And I ultimately decided I wanted to walk away and be in charge of my own future and do my own thing. So I did. I took a big risk. And I took what money I had and I bought some equipment, and I just thought, I'm gonna try this. And this was almost 3 years ago. So this has not happened overnight. I experimented with a few different projects, with different partners, with companies, just trying a variety of different things, and everything pretty much failed. And that was a struggle. And I really wasn't sure what I should do. I had people from corporate media, radio wanting me to come back. I wasn't really wanting to do that. I wanted to build my own future where I had more control over what I do. And ultimately, I lost everything in order to do this. I had to become an Uber driver. I had to try to find waitressing jobs. And the waitress, it was funny when I would interview at the restaurants, and they would look at me and they'd say, "You're a bit overqualified for this." And I learned to kind of try to dumb down my resume, because my resume was saying radio talk show host and all this stuff. And I had waitress through college. And so, but nobody would hire me. I mean, it was hard. I was begging for a waitressing job and no one would hire me. And I Uber drive. I got a new car. I ended up so that I could Uber drive, one that would qualify for Ubering, and a Prius. And that's what I did to try to stay afloat for a while. I had to move in with my family, which is who I've been living with. I've been so grateful for my family. And I moved in with them to make ends meet. I rented out my apartment on Airbnb. And I would go and clean it all the time. So I became a cleaning lady, to keep that place going, and like a bed and breakfast manager and an Uber driver. And I was just doing and failing at trying to get a waitressing job. I was just doing everything I could. And I was taking odd jobs here and there, like waitressing odd jobs or audio editing or podcast production type, just odd jobs, anything I could get. And meanwhile, living with family and struggling to pay bills. And giving up my social life. I had to move an hour away from all my friends. Obviously, I can't really date when I'm living with my family members. And, it's been a big sacrifice these last couple of years. I'm not going to lie. It's been really hard. It's taken a toll on me personally and emotionally. And the fear and everything with trying to build something has been tough. And I know that, like I said, this channel, it grew fast. And so it looks like from the outside that I just kind of came around and woo, it just happened and lucky me. And yes, I am lucky with this show, that this show has done well, that so many of you have enjoyed this, the content that I'm creating here and will continue to create. I've been very fortunate with that. And I mean, that I'm so eternally grateful for, really. But it didn't happen really overnight. It was something that took a lot of time, effort, and sacrifice. And that's how this type of thing goes. When you want to build something, it usually takes living with your parents in their basement kind of a thing, trying to just survive while you try to build these, and that I know is the story of many YouTubers, that we've all had to kind of move in with family and be supported and hope. And then our family members kind of looking at us like, really, you think you're going to make it on YouTube? And I've been very lucky. My dad, though, who's a huge YouTube consumer, he was my biggest fan, saying, do it. This is the way, this is the future. You got to do it. So he was my biggest fan and my biggest supporter, which is why I had this award sent here to Idaho. I'm in Idaho right now, so that my dad and I could both kind of share in the unboxing of this award. And, it's been, I have, like I mentioned, I've been crashing with family. And so I've been kind of homeless, actually, for the last couple of years. I've just been staying with a variety of, a few different family members, my dad or my uncle or whoever. And mainly those two have really been my biggest supporters. And because of it, it's been really tough trying to make content. When I don't have my own space, when I'm kind of working around other people's schedules, when I'm moving around, when I'm constantly going back and forth, it's been really challenging. So the good news is that I have been able to, with your support on Patreon and PayPal, and with being able to monetize this channel, though I get demonetized quite a bit, I have been able to get to a point now where I can rent an apartment, a bigger space. My current apartment that I was renting out is way too small. I just cannot film in it. I can't make a real studio. I can't invite guests to it. So I had to move, even though I wasn't really living in the other one anyway, because I was, trying to make ends meet, living with family. So I have now rented a new place that I get to move into in the next month or so. And I'll finally be more stable and steady and in one spot. And I'll be able to have guests because I'll be able to build it out to where I can have regular guests, which I hope to have. And I'll just be able to hopefully hunker down and make regular content because I'll be more in a regular routine rather than in living this kind of nomad life that I've been living these last couple of years. It's been really challenging. So I appreciate your patience with me. I know I don't put out content nearly as regularly as many other creators. That needs to change. It will change. I just need to get myself personally settled and in one spot and into a normal daily routine. So in the meantime, I have nowhere to hang this because I'm homeless. But soon this is going to go on my wall, and I'm just so grateful for this and grateful for you guys for watching this channel and subscribing. And if you watch and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And thank you. So thank you guys again. means a lot.